Why deep thinkers struggle in a shallow world. Society has always had a complicated relationship with deep thinkers. Not because their ideas are dangerous, but because they hold up a mirror most people don't want to look into. From the ancient Greeks to modern intellectuals, the pattern remains. Those who see too much are often pushed aside. But why? Why is it that individuals who think deeply, who question, who analyze, often end up feeling isolated or misunderstood? It comes down to a simple truth. Most people aren't looking for truth. They're looking for comfort. We live in a world built on shared illusions, cultural norms, political ideologies, even personal goals. Many are inherited rather than chosen. Deep thinkers, however, are allergic to blind acceptance. They strip ideas down to their core, and that act alone threatens the fragile mental balance most people rely on. You see, intelligence doesn't just introduce new ideas, it dismantles old ones. And when someone's beliefs are questioned, it doesn't just challenge their opinions, it challenges their identity. This is where the discomfort begins. When someone is stronger than you, you might admire them. When they're richer, maybe you're inspired. But when someone's mind moves faster, asks deeper questions, sees patterns you missed, it triggers something else entirely. It triggers insecurity. Psychologists refer to this as cognitive dissonance. When someone presents a truth that clashes with your worldview, your brain panics. Instead of adjusting your beliefs, you often reject the person delivering the message. That's why deep thinkers are so often misunderstood. Their ideas don't just disrupt, they demand change, and change is uncomfortable. Now imagine being someone who constantly sees beyond the surface, who notices contradictions in conversation, who questions the meaning behind everyday behavior. That level of awareness can feel like a superpower, but it's also a burden, because the deeper you think, the harder it becomes to relate. Most social interaction revolves around simplicity, predictable topics, surface-level opinions, shared distractions. For the deep thinker, these conversations can feel empty, not because they're arrogant, but because they're starving for substance in a world that worships convenience. This creates a quiet type of loneliness, not physical, but intellectual. You can be surrounded by people, yet feel like no one's really hearing you. And maybe they aren't. Philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once said, "The more intelligent a man is, the more he tends to solitude." He believed that the masses are guided by desire, by instinct, pleasure, and fear, while the thinker is driven by reflection, insight, and truth. And that difference makes connection difficult. Most people don't want to discuss mortality over coffee, or challenge social norms at a dinner party. They want familiarity, ease, validation. So when a deep thinker enters the room and starts peeling back layers, people become defensive, even hostile. Not because the thinker is wrong, but because they're right and that truth is too heavy to carry. This is amplified by the world we live in today. Social media rewards simplicity, fast opinions, bold takes. Deep thought, by contrast, is slow. It's nuanced. It doesn't fit in a caption or go viral in 15 seconds. And so the deep thinker is ignored, not because their ideas lack value, but because they lack packaging. Still, not all hope is lost. There's a quiet power in solitude, in being the observer instead of the participant. Deep thinkers may walk a lonelier path, but they also walk a freer one. Unbound by groupthink, undistracted by trends. And every once in a while, they find each other. In books, in quiet conversations, in the spaces between noise. And when that happens, the isolation fades, if only for a moment. So if you're someone who thinks deeply, feels deeply, and often wonders if you're out of place, you're not broken. You're just awake in a world that's half asleep. Keep thinking, because the world doesn't change by those who fit in. It changes by those who refuse to.